Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with a first look at Animation Throwdown, a new card game by Congregate. When I say card game, I use this term a little bit loosely. It's really a card game meets a freemium app game that is trying to get you to spend your mortgage payment and beyond on this little game. Having said that, at first blush, it seems pretty fun, so we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at it. So when I say it is a card game, it is. You are looking to have a deck here. Here's my deck. You have a hero. My current hero is Stewie. Heroes have powers based on how far leveled they are. And then you take this deck and you do one of two things with it. You either go into adventure mode, which is a single player mode where you just go through a story, or you go into the PvP mode. Now, the problem is this is where it comes up a bit short of what you might want out of a hardcore card game. This is no replacement for Hearthstone or any card games like this, because the PvP mode is one of those sort of what you're used to in a freemium app, which is you go in and you play against another person, but an AI is actually controlling the deck. Now, there's plenty of positives to this type of scenario. The game moves really quickly. I am level 4 in Arena, and I haven't lost yet, which is really fun, right? It's fun to always win. However, it lacks quite that next level of strategy that something like a Hearthstone wants. So, not everyone, though, wants to play this deep, entangled card game every time they load up something. This is a great game for just a couple minutes. So let's take a look at some of the neat things about this game. First of all, one of the really cool but expensive, possibly, elements of the game is that you actually can level up all your cards. So if you look here, all the cards start at 1. Many of my cards are level 2. But if I click on, say, Brian here, who's level 3, for 10 resources, I can actually upgrade him to level 4. And if you look, he'll have more health. So I'll go ahead and do that. Boom. Upgrade Brian to level 4. Alright, there we go. Ooh, and I completed a quest. I upgraded a card. Alright, so as you can see, though, the graphics are really good. Like, the graphics feel top-notch. Everything feels really tight. The gameplay is actually pretty good once you get used to it. The first several games against, the easiest decks are the most boring thing ever. You put cards out and you win. And to be honest, Arena is still rather boring. However, when you go into adventure mode, it gets a little bit more interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look at each adventure. You can solve just a whole bunch of times. So I'll go ahead and look at this one. On 2-1, I've only beaten it once. Now, if I were to beat it again, there's a chance I would get this one card that's showing, Teddy's Brewski. But the more times I beat it, the more cards get unlocked that I could possibly win. And this is one of the main ways to acquire cards. And to be honest, one of the most fun parts of the game, because it's actually a little bit challenging. So let's start with an arena, though, just so you can see how the game works and how simple and simplistic arena can really be. To me, this is what kind of holds this game back / makes it kind of fun. It's hard to decide what exactly my thoughts are on it. Alright, so let's start out here. Let's move it to ×1. I'm playing against this dude. I don't remember his name, from American Dad. He has 22 health. His guy is not very advanced. It has no abilities. My guy, Stewie, has all kinds of abilities. The green cards are more advanced cards, so I'm going to go ahead and play Hermes. Hermes is pretty awesome. He is a 410 if you're looking at Hearthstone numbers. And my opponent plays also a guy, and his guy sucks. And so this is one of the big interesting things with the game, is that in most games, like most card games, commons, rares, epics, legendaries, there's good cards in all of those categories because it's very important to do that. In this game, that's not the case. The rarer the card is, the better it is. But here's one of the coolest parts of the game. So I have a choice. I can play another card and play it next to Hermes, or I can make Hermes amazing by combining him with another card. I can combine him with this common 20 big boys. It's only a 2/7. But I've got old Fortran malt liquor here, a 5/8. Let's make Hermes drunk. So we're going to combine the liquor, combine Hermes. Hermes is now drunk, but he's amazing. He's got all these awesome abilities. He's 714. He has these abilities on the side that do various things, all because I combined 2 rare cards. Alright, so let's go ahead and put out Dr. Zoidberg. You can see he's a 2 because I leveled him once. I didn't want to level all my basics too much. But as you can see, what's happening here is on my turn, I attack, and on his turn, his cards attack. But they have summoning sickness, like many games. So essentially the first player seems to have this tremendous advantage. And from what I found, the player gets to go first every single time. It may not be true as you get to higher levels. And look, I'm going to combine these, and now he's got clothes made of cash. Zoidberg living large. And so basically now I'm just punching. And anytime you do damage to a card, it goes through to the opponent's face. So if there's no card in the lane of a card, it goes right to the face. And if there is, it'll do damage to that card and go to the face. So hopefully you can see by now how ridiculously easy PvP mode is, at least in the beginning. That's why I said I'm going to come back in a week and do another version where I talk about whether or not I'm going to keep playing this app, as it has been really fun right now. But as you can see, we're easily going to win here. Alright, so we won that battle. We're going to move on. That's Arena. Arena is interesting, but a little boring. You can level up your actual hero itself to get more powers by winning an arena. If you see here, if I win this, there's a chance I'll get Fry. That's kind of cool. I assume there'll be some leaderboards at some point. There aren't right now. There's another interesting thing you can do, which is to watch ads to improve your chances at getting better drops. I've done that once. It didn't help. I've read on Reddit that some people think it doesn't help enough. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Another complaint that a lot of people have is that the cooldown on your arena is really slow. If you'll look up in the upper right under the boxing glove there, it's an hour and 17 minutes before I refill. So this is not a game that you're going to be able to play all day. This is definitely a freemium, energy-based game that you will have a limited time with each day, and that's going to have to be what the point of the game is. If you want a game with a deeper investment, and you're not willing to fork over thousands of dollars, you know, you're going to have to find a different game. This is not that kind of game. This is a game to bop in for a little while and have some fun with. Now, the problem is, for those of you who want to be insanely competitive about a game, aka me, about everything I do, this might be difficult to find that balance between how you're going to get more arenas in. If you want to be at the top of the leaderboard, you're going to have to buy a lot of gems, which are not cheap. Alright, so let's return to Adventure. Adventure, to me, is the most interesting part right now, because this is the part where you can get cards. So I showed you that if you do an adventure multiple times, you can unlock better cards. Well, look at this. I've gone all the way to the end of 1-1, and now I can get Brian, Lois's Piano. I have one copy of Brian. You can have many copies of a person in your deck, and then as you saw, when you combine them with other cards, you'll get to make even cooler things. And I'll talk about that in a little more detail in a moment. But let's go ahead and do a battle. This is going to be really challenging. When you beat a level all the way, they have busted cards. I have busted cards now. Well, sort of busted cards, but they have even more busted cards. So this might be tough. We're going to play our malt liquor here. If we don't get somebody good to combo with it, it could get dicey. Alright, so our opponent, look at that. Chris is a 416. He's a basic, and he's still a 416. We'll go ahead and make Drunk Zoidberg. Whoop, 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 whoop. And he's not too bad. We're going to have to amp this up a bit. Alright, he's got this ability that reduces their attack every time, which is quite great. We'll put down some more malt liquor here. Hope Lois doesn't just kill us outright, which she may with a buff. And she does. She's now Cinderella Lois. Oh, she didn't kill us. That's nice. We'll make Zoidberg drunk again. He heals up from Stewie's power. And we're just, you know, whacking the face here. Trying to, anyway. He only has 11 health, but his cards are so awesome that it's hard to break through. And they're only commons. It's not like he has these amazing cards yet. Alright. So we're working on it. Reducing their attack every time is what's really saving us here. But as you can see, this is a lot different than in the PvP mode, where I just basically didn't do anything, didn't think at all, and went in and crushed their face. This actually is challenging to figure out. There's a little bit of skill involved. It's like, which card do I play first? Can it live? So it's a little bit more interesting. There's a little bit more strategy, but it still doesn't feel like there's a ton of strategy, and that may be just me not being quite good enough yet. I'm not entirely sure, and we'll find out as we go along. Hopefully there's a little bit more strategy than I'm seeing, because otherwise while the collecting part is fun, the actual gameplay itself I found to be a little bit lackluster. Alright, so next turn hopefully we'll find something great to combo with Farnsworth, like Mars University or something. And our opponent has put a card in an empty lane, so this is where the strategy comes in. Do I want to make Professor drunk, or do I want to oppose this Fairy Godmother? I think I just want to make Farnsworth drunk. Hope he heals up and doesn't die instantly. Ooh, he did not heal. So he looks like he's probably going to die, but we do have this double clear shot, and that's the other thing. You can only play one card per turn, which is another thing that feels really weird to only be playing one card per turn. It looks like we win here because he did not oppose our guys, so we're just going to swing in for 12 and we're going to win. Hopefully we'll get an amazing card. Let's see. We only get a chance, remember, and it could be something terrible. We get nothing. That's what you usually get. Alright, so that's how gameplay works. That's how it works when you're a little bit more advanced and it actually becomes a little bit more challenging. And as you move farther on, they become ridiculously challenging. Remember, that's just 1-1. Alright, so one of the really interesting aspects of this game is research. So you can throw 2 cards in these research tubes and come out with a better card. So I just got Brian, and he's amazing, but I haven't comboed him with a lot of the cards I'm playing. I haven't comboed him with Mars University, which is really good. He is now currently being comboed with Malt Liquor in the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and combo him with my other green location place, Mars University. It is going to take 6 hours to complete this research. So in 6 hours, I'll be able to play that card on top of the other one. Currently, I cannot. And it's one of the interesting things about the game is that until you discover a lot of these combinations, you can't play them together. So it's another one of the gates in the game. There's all these different gates. There's the gate in how much adventure energy you have, how much arena energy you have, how long it takes to do research. All these places are gated. And you can buy all kinds of stuff, of course. I'm going to go ahead and buy a card pack here. A free one. We'll spend all our money. Maybe we'll get another rare. Haven't gotten anything higher than a rare. On Reddit, people have said they haven't gotten anything higher than a rare, period. So I'm not sure if you can't get epics out of these packs. If not, that's going to be a serious problem. Because as I talked about, the way this game works, it's very much rares are better than commons. Epics are going to be better than rares. And it's very linear in that way. One last thing I want to look at before we go is you can actually upgrade the cards, which you already talked about actually, but you can recycle stuff like these to get more shards, to be able to do more upgrading. So there we go. Ooh. We got a quest. Alright. So that's the bottom line. Really what we're looking at here with Animation Throwdown is what seems like a pretty fun collector game. I've been playing it for about 2 days. I'm having a ton of fun with it. Just collecting cards, winning my battles, trying to get a better deck. My guess is that once I get all the rare cards that I can get, and once I get the cards out of the adventure that I'm able to get, it's going to feel like I've hit a brick wall, because I can't really see another way to obtain cards. And once I reach a spot in Arena where everyone has those cards, I think I'm going to feel like, oh, there's the wall. But I will say, especially if you like these shows, I love Futurama, that this is a pretty fun game. It's something that you'll probably want to spend a little bit of time with. If I had to recommend a deck just based on what's best, I would probably recommend Family Guy. The reason being that you are going to combo really well with these cards from 1-1. You'll be able to combo with Lois's Piano and Brian right out of the gate, whereas for me, I'm having to research these combos. But I don't regret my decision because it's Futurama. I love Futurama. The only thing I regret is they didn't give me Bender for free. I don't know what Bender is. He's probably an epic or a legendary or something. So hopefully in a week when I revisit this topic, I'll say, oh my goodness, I figured out how to get all the cards. Here's the secrets. The game is amazing. But my gut feeling tells me I'm going to play this game about a week and say, wow, there's a serious wall here. So My initial evaluation is pretty fun game. Pretty fun game. I think you'll enjoy it. Might as well give it a whirl. Don't spend money on it out of the gate. I can't give you this warning enough. If you're playing a freemium game, do not spend any money on it for the first week or 2 weeks, because the way these games are designed is they're always good the first week or two. That's how they hook you. Don't spend money while they're trying to hook you. Wait until after you can really evaluate it for yourself. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this take on Animation Throwdown, and I'll see you next time on Tiny Grimes Games.